Hello and welcome to the Fit and Free podcast. This is a podcast for women who want it all, to feel strong and confident in their bodies, as well as enjoying a sneaky mug on a Friday night. I'm an exercise physiologist and sports nutritionist, here to teach you how to achieve your body goals without food and your body controlling your life. So let's jump in. If you're a busy, hardworking lady who loves to work out, and right now you're juggling a full-time job and a busy social calendar, and you are struggling with cravings in the afternoon, you have tried every trick to curb the cravings. Maybe you're hiding snacks in your office drawer or shoving chocolate behind bundles of spinach in your fridge and only buying healthy ingredients when you're at the supermarket. And you believe that if junk food isn't visible, you won't eat it. So you ban all bad foods from home and you pat yourself on the back. But then the weekend hits. You go out for friends and you just then binge on everything that you've been craving. You promise yourself you'll just have one handful of fries. All of a sudden, that handful turns into a whole bowl and you're sitting there, you're beating yourself up. You're feeling guilty because you're like, why do I keep doing this? Why do I keep ruining my progress? Now you're feeling defeated because you know this yo-yo pattern is keeping you stuck. Like you crush your workouts all week, but every Sunday night you're in a food guilt spiral. And now because of this, your midsection never tightens, your glutes never perk up, and the scale barely budges. And I bet to try and fix it, you've probably tried every diet under the sun. But you're now to a point where you're just like, I just want something sustainable. Then, if you are stuck in this cycle, I am so excited that you're here because in today's episode, we are absolutely going to be talking about this, why it's happening and how to stop. And I'm going to tell it through the lens of one of my beautiful clients, her story of breaking free of this all or nothing cycle with food. So let's dive in. Hello, you guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Fit and Free podcast. I am feeling so good this morning. This morning, Niels and I got up and we got up early, as we always do, because I'm just like obsessed with sunrises. And this time of year is just like so beautiful because the sun rises a little bit later. So like it's going up at like 6:30. So you've got time to get down to the beach with a coffee and just to see the beautiful sky. And it was a full moon this morning, and the pink sky with the bright full moon before the sun rose was just like so insanely beautiful. And it's so crazy of just how much like just beautiful nature like that can instantly make me feel so much better. So we watched the sunrise, went for a beautiful walk around the headland. It was just like so peaceful, so beautiful. And the weather right now is just like perfect on the Sunshine Coast. Like it's cold in the mornings, still warm during the day. The wind's a bit chilly, so it's like cozy. So it's like, it's so crazy that this is like winter. Because last time, like over December, when I was in the Netherlands, like that was it's just such a different lifestyle, such a different landscape in terms of like the weather and how life is lived. It's just like, it's so crazy to me that I'm just sitting in the middle of winter looking outside. It's a crystal blue sky. I can still go to the beach. I can still go swimming. And it's just like, it's just so beautiful. And it's just always has me thinking, it's like, my environment personally for me just plays such a role into how I'm feeling. And yeah, I guess I'm just feeling really grateful for being here at the moment. And yeah, the way that it's just so mind-boggling to me that this is winter. This is my first winter back on the sunny coast for probably like 3 years because we've been traveling. And I'm just like, yeah, this is great. So happy about that. What else has been going on? A little bit of a life update. The Fit and Free Academy ladies are just absolutely slaying it. The community at the moment is just popping off, and it's just like, it's just so nice to be able to create a space and allow like-minded women to come together and to support each other. Because, a health and fitness journey, it can be pretty lonely. And sometimes we get like stuck in our own head and we're spiraling and things aren't working and we're just feeling so deflated. And it can get really challenging when you're alone in that because you can feel really alone. And this is why I love this space so much is because, now these women have a place to come and get support and to cheer each other on and to keep each other motivated. And it's just like such a beautiful, supportive place. And I'm absolutely loving that. And it's just like, it just blows my mind really to, you know, how powerful like proper nutrition and exercise programming can really be for someone. Like I've had so many comments this week already being like, oh my God, like I'm already feeling better in my clothes and it's only been 1 week and I'm feeling less bloated. I have more energy. I have less sugar cravings, all of the things. So it's just like, yeah, I'm just super proud of how these women are going, but I'm also proud of just, you know, the whole thing essentially. So that's been fun. We love to see that. Then in life, we're just coasting at the moment, chilling on the Sunshine Coast, enjoying being back with our friends, enjoying all of the things there. So yeah, not too much to update. I'm pretty much just in my, you know, hustle era and growth era because at the moment I'm really like, the end of the day, like my main purpose and mission with the Fit and Free Academy is like, you know, really help as many women as possible find sustainability, to find, you know, to fall in love with their routine again, to love the food that they're eating, to find that balance, to have food freedom whilst looking like they work out. Like that is the ultimate goal. So right now I'm just heads down, bump up, and really putting a lot of effort into growing that because I've seen the results and it's just like, it's so rewarding for me to be able to help women. So just, yeah, that's where a lot of my time and attention is going. Other than that, I'm just eating acai bowls on the weekend, going to the beach, going for walks and and training, of course, keeping up with that. My training at the moment has been feeling really good. I was struggling with a little bit of back pain a month ago. My back just got just completely blew out and it was not fun. I was in a lot of pain for a few days and a couple of weeks, to be honest. So I've really just been really focusing on, really paying more attention to like strengthening that back up, really working on my core stability, pulling back on my compound lifts a little bit just to give it some time to recover, to deload. Still been training, still been managing it. But now I'm just like feeling really solid again. Yesterday I did deadlifts for the first time and felt really good, felt really strong. So that was such a win. Always feels good when that feels good. So yeah, that's been cruising. So that's a little bit from me. Let's get into today's episode because if you're stuck in this cycle of, you know, eating really healthy, but then you just keep sabotaging your results, then I want to tell you about my client, Sally, because she was also stuck in this cycle. And now after implementing the Fit and Free framework, she has lost centimeters off her waist. She's looking more toned. She's built muscle. She's stronger. And the most important thing in this is that, you know, she's done it in a sustainable way. Like it's no longer like this all or nothing, this yo-yo, and this constant stress about and constant shame cycle of like, oh my God, I've ruined everything. What's the point falling into those self-sabotaging patterns? She's enjoying the process. She's enjoying her food. She's not caught up with she doesn't have a bad mindset with it all now. And because of that, she's been able to remain consistent. Her results seem effortless and she's feeling so freaking confident and happy because not only has she seen results in her body, but she's also, you know, got a lot more freedom back in her life. So let's talk about it so that you essentially can break free of this cycle as well. So first of all, I want to tell you specifically about this client of why she was stuck in this cycle of her struggle really was peanut butter. Her one food was just peanut butter. Like anytime she had some, she just instantly it was like a flick that switched and then she was she would just say she would have a little bit and all of a sudden she's had a lot. And this is a really common pattern with women. I see it all the time, especially with my busy, hardworking ladies. You know, you're working full time, you're tired, you're exhausted. So, you know, it can be hard when, you know, you've got a lot of cravings to say no to those. So this leads into exactly why it was happening for this particular client. So this particular client is a teacher, which is super amazing. And a few reasons why it was happening. Number one is she actually wasn't eating enough calories. And this is where I see this so common is like women, you know, there's a lot of like fear around food because we have been so conditioned to diet culture, right? It's like less is better, low carbs, intermittent fasting, 1200 calories, right? Like this is the messages that we've been bombarded with. So it's hard to believe, like it makes us being like, oh, I shouldn't be eating that much. I actually that's too many calories. That's too many carbohydrates, X, Y, and Z. But it's these beliefs from diet culture that is actually causing so many women to undereat, right? And if you're underfueled, then you're going to make up for it somewhere else. whether that be after work, whether that be on the weekend, right? Your body is literally not getting the right nutrients it needs to function. And when that happens, it triggers you to get into a really emotional state as well, which then makes it even harder to then, stay in control of food. So number one, underfueled. So what this looks like is definitely under eating protein and under eating carbohydrates. So for this client, like in the morning, she's so busy getting to work. So what she was doing, she was making a little smoothie before she went, or she would like have some eggs on toast. She was like having 2 eggs and a piece of toast, or she would have a smoothie with like a tablespoon of protein powder and then some fruit. And the problem with this is it's not enough calories, number one. It's not enough protein, number two. So therefore, it's already setting her day up for failure. Because like if you're missing a good portion of protein in the morning, and if you're also missing a good portion of calories, what's going to happen, you're going to pay for it later, and you'll probably feel it in the afternoon. You're going to have low energy, your sugar cravings are going to be really high, and also affect your mental clarity as well, a brain fog, forgetting things, right? And the reason being is because like if you're missing a good portion of food at breakfast time, that means it's going to be hard to make up your total needs throughout the entire day. But it also is going to mean that you're freaking ravenous by lunchtime and then into the afternoon. And this is exactly what was happening with this client, right? She would get home from work, and because she is literally underfueled all day, because she didn't have that solid breakfast, she didn't have a snack in the morning tea, she would just have like a pretty big lunch. She would just take leftovers from the night before. Like, she would cook up like a roast, or she would have Mexican, or, her dinners were, pretty good, and she was just taking those leftovers. But again, because the lunch in itself also wasn't properly balanced, she's definitely under eating carbs, definitely under eating fats there, is because that meal was also unbalanced. Like we pair that with breakfast and we pair that with lunch. She would get home from work at about 4:00 and she'd be freaking starving. She would have really bad cravings, and then she would try and white knuckle through her cravings, be like, no, I'm just waiting for dinner. I don't want to, no, I'm not eating this, no way. But then eventually those cravings would give in, and she'd be like, okay, I'll just have a little bit of peanut butter. That one peanut butter turned into a lot of peanut butter, and then it's just that constant cycle, right? So what did we do to fix this? Number one, a proper nutrition strategy. So what this means is having balanced meals at breakfast and lunch. So we gave her some really quick options. So like smoothies, some overnight oats that she could make the night before, and like a meal prep bacon and egg McMuffin so that she could prep at the start of the week so that she was organized. She didn't have to think about it. She could just like grab it and go, or she could buzz up the smoothie before she went to work, super quick, super easy. And then she would have that. And then also just making sure the ratios in her lunch were also balanced. So making sure in both these meals, right, she had a really good source of carbohydrate, really good source of fat, really good source of protein, and then of course some veg and fiber to really balance out that meal. For an example, like the smoothie had 1.5 bananas, a tablespoon of peanut butter, a whole scoop of protein powder, ice, and some chia seeds and some water. Literally, in comparison to what she was doing before, was just like 1 tablespoon of protein powder, some berries, and some water, right? And that's literally going to be the difference, you guys, is really understanding what a balanced meal actually needs to look like. And literally by simply changing this, so having a balanced meal and having a balanced lunch, her energy improved, her mood improved, her cravings got less and less and less. And that's because she was actually fueling her body with enough energy and the right balance of carbohydrates to protein to fiber. Because when you get that is when your blood sugar is going to remain stable, your energy is going to remain stable, you're going to feel satisfied, you're going to feel really good. So therefore, you're not going to be wanting to go to food to, make yourself feel better, and to, not want to go to food to make yourself feel better, but also you won't be having cravings. I was thinking about this and I was like, I just don't remember the last time I don't really get cravings. And I was like reflecting on that. I was like, I just don't crave the stuff. And then I was like, yeah, well, because like I honor, what I feel like, and I always am having a balanced meal. Like every single time I have a meal, I always make sure it's balanced, because if it's not, I feel shit. So that was the first thing. Now, the second reason why she was also struggling with this, it wasn't just the underfueling. It was also because she was labeling it as off limits. I can't have the peanut butter, because essentially she knew if she allowed herself to have the peanut butter, she would always lose control of it. So she lack the self-trust in order to actually be able to have it without spiraling and being, feeling guilty to be like, oh my God, I've ruined my goals. So what we had to do is within, her balanced meals and her structured nutrition plan, we had to integrate these foods to normalize that you can eat peanut butter every day without losing control of it. And essentially what you have to do there is you got to build trust with the food and realize that, that food is not necessarily a bad thing. It's actually a good thing. And for this client in particular, it was more of the fact of the fear of losing control. Like that was the real reason why she was afraid to put it in. So what did we do? We put it in her breakfast. We put it in her snacks. We added more peanut butter within her caloric needs so that she knew how to integrate it and to eat it without spiraling. Right? Like I said, we put it in her smoothie as her fat source. It was like a banana peanut butter smoothie. Yum. But then we also had some healthy integration as well in at lunchtime, like we have satay sauce. And then also through the snacks as well. Like peanut butter on toast can just is a great snack, right? And this is exactly what we did. I, gave her some real practical examples of how she can integrate that into her day so that she could normalize and build trust with herself that she could eat it and stay in control. And so therefore, it's not about avoidance. And this is like one of the biggest mistakes that people make. They think that avoiding the food is how they're going to stay in control of it. But it's actually the opposite. We actually need to normalize that we can eat it again and again and again and again and again until the novelty of actually eating that food wears off. So then we don't feel like we need to be a crazy person and eat all of it. So that's what we did there. Now, the third reason why she was struggling with this pattern is also because of her perfectionist mindset. So anytime she would have the peanut butter, she would have some, and then she would really struggle to stop. She would have more, and then she would fall into the pattern of, I've already had 2 spoons. I may as well keep going. So, of course, like if we're in this all or nothing pattern, I've ruined everything. I may as well keep going. Then, of course, that's going to continue to sabotage your results, right? So how did we change and implement this? Well, first of all, we had to build awareness of that she was falling into an effort mentality, and we had to understand why. So the reason why it was happening with her is because when she ate more than 1 spoon of peanut butter, she instantly felt like a failure. And in that moment, because she felt like she was failing, she felt so down, she felt so defeated, she was then self-soothing those emotions with, well, I've already eaten the peanut butter. I'm already failing. I may as well keep going to, because this peanut butter, it's making me feel good in the moment, right? It's making me feel comfort. It's making me feel, it's making me feel comfort. It's giving me satisfaction. It's giving me, all of the things in that specific moment to help me feel better from the fact that I feel like a failure. So this is where we had to absolutely clean this up. And what we have to do here is reframe that you're not a failure if you go over your calories a little bit. This is why coming in with self-compassion in your health and fitness journey is like what so many people are missing. Because if we just fall into the shame game, we beat ourselves up for making a mistake, then we get stuck in the problem. And this is what kept happening because she was in a shame spiral, beat herself up for it. She wasn't able actually to learn from her pattern. She wasn't allowing herself to build awareness of what was actually happening in that specific moment. So she just kept getting stuck. She just kept doing it. Instead, we had to stop, we had to pause, we had to reflect, and we had to understand why. She was doing this to make herself feel better for doing it. So, okay, cool. When she does it, instead of falling into the shame game, this is where we have to choose differently. This is where we have to be self-compassionate towards ourselves and being like, well, hang on a minute. What does my body actually need right now? What am I actually craving? Because I know it's not the peanut butter because I know I feel shit after it. What is it that I actually need to give myself right now? Do I need to alleviate pressure that I put on myself? Do I need to just take 5 minutes and just chill the F out? Do I need to, have a little bit more fun? Like, what do I actually need and what does my body actually crave right now? Because I know it's not food, and let's address that. And that's exactly what we did with this client. We realized is that she struggled with coping with stress from work. She was coming home and she was getting really stressed after work. And then because she had the perfectionist pattern, she holds herself to such a high standard. And anytime, she was getting really dysregulated from feeling like that she wasn't doing good enough, her peanut butter was her, scapegoat essentially. So what did we have to do? We had to implement help her emotionally regulate and learn how to process those emotions and manage that stress in other ways instead of going for food. And that's exactly what we did. And literally working through these specific things, she is now, like I've already said, she is feeling so strong. She's feeling so confident. She's seeing results in her body. She's seeing better results in the gym. And most importantly, it's no longer this all or nothing thing when it really comes to food. Because at the end of the day, you guys, real change isn't about hiding temptation. It's about reprogramming how you handle it so that you can build muscle, burn fat, and actually look like you work out regardless of what's in your pantry. I was sitting at my desk the other day and there was like a block of chocolate sitting on the desk. And it's just like, it's even crazy to me now. Like, you know, there's no way, like probably, I don't know, 7 years ago that I could sit, work and have chocolate on my desk without feeling like I wanted to eat all of it. Now I'm sitting there like, you know, doing my work and it's sitting there and I'm just like, oh, well, that's like so easy to ignore. I'm just like, I'm not even tempted. And that's when you know that, you know, weight loss is going to be easy when you can sit there with chocolate on your desk and not worry about a thing. So you guys, I really hope that this helped you. Like if you're stuck in this cycle, you know, understanding potentially why you potentially could do it if you're like my client, and then some really practical things to implement to, you know, help you break free of that cycle. Let me know if this episode was helpful. Please send me a DM. I'd love to hear from you guys on Instagram. If you haven't left a review yet, please do so because it really helps me grow this channel. And we want everyone to hear this because we want everyone to start doing things in a sustainable way. We don't want people to feel like they're on a diet. We want people to enjoy their food. And that's what this is all about. So thank you for being here. I appreciate you more than you know. And I'll see you guys next week.